I can't help but laugh today. I've just heard that Priti Patel, the Home Secretary, is down in Dover Harbour, and a couple of 100 feet, half a mile out to sea, is the HMS Alfred the Great, the Britain's first naval vessel, patrolling for migrant crossings. You literally couldn't make it up.
We want to talk about this vessel, this grifter Paul Golding is speaking of. Let's talk about it. We're warning everyone away from being gullible enough to involve their person or their finances in this project of patrolling for migrant crossings. I recall a couple of years back seeing a video on Facebook of Glen Safa with some gentlemen on what I believe was the South Coast. They were talking about the possibility of getting a donation drive going to get a boat seaworthy to go out far enough. I assume what they meant in this case was beyond the 12 miles, taking them into international water in order to inhibit the migrant boats from getting into our waters. There was a gentleman who said he had a boat. He seemed local to that area. He said that he needs to get it repaired or modified in order for it to be seaworthy enough to go out that far. That's what they wanted the donations for, and I assume for the fuel as well. Perhaps he said that in the video, I don't recall. I wish I had that video saved. I suspect Mr. Golding may well be using this chap's boat, but the question is, who is going to be paying for the fuel and any repairs or modification? I very much doubt Mr. Golding's going to be paying out of his own dime. Does he ever do that? Do not be gullible enough to donate to this pointless endeavour. These clowns cannot stop migrant boats, and they could well break sea laws, getting themselves into legal trouble. It's a stunt, a pointless one at that. If you truly believe one man and a rogue boat is going to prevent migrants crossing over from French waters into British waters, then you're a knave. You are the type of person that folks like Mr. Golding prey upon. They eye up your wallets because they see you coming. If this lot even tried to intercept a boat at sea in international waters, they could well end up in a legal wrangle, because that could be seen as impeding or endangering the life on those rafts. And rest assured, I'm not pro those boats. This is not coming from a lefty. This is rational and logical thought. It's ground in facts. This is something that folks like Paul Golding avoid. Folks like Mr. Golding avoid facts like the plague, like the pandemic. What you need to do now is you need to keep a weather eye on Mr. Golding's output. See how many times he features content from this vessel, Alfred the Great. These folk are quick to take your cash, and they are bad custodians of your money. They are not worthy of having your money. You lot who these grifters prey upon, you need to be better stewards of your money. There's a recession looming, and there's going to be a great deal of unemployment, further unemployment in the future. That's all expected. 50 quid in your pocket is much better than in Mr. Golding's pocket. Mr. Golding's pockets are already brimming with a load of shekels. I can guarantee you that. He's not going short, he's not lacking, you are. He's also quick to extend his hands for cash. You lot need to put him in his place. Start calling out pointless wastes of cash like this one. Be brave enough to start asking for accounts to be published so you know exactly where the donation cash has gone. Rest assured, it's gone all right. Talking about extending hands, what's going on with those allegations he bashed Miss Jayda Fransen? What's going on with all that? All the grifters and their sheep are silent on that. The Robinsons, the Anne-Marie Waters, the rest of them, they're all silent on it. Why is that? We all know that if it was a Muslim or a BLM guy who bashed Jayda, that lot, the Civna Zios, would have been babbling on about it day and night. But of course, we know the Zio Civna cabal only care about British women when they can make it about Muslims or Marxists. It's all about serving their paymasters with a pound of propaganda for a few pound sterlings. I heard one of his ex-associates, somebody who was campaigning with him back in the day, that person said he's silent or he's not speaking about it as much because he doesn't want to cause waves. That's a poor show. That's unimpressive.
I've talked to Jayda. Jayda's my mate, and I believe what she's told me. And the evidence is a bit overwhelming off that BBC thing, because they've got his Paul Goulding's mum coming on saying the same thing. But I've talked to Jayda. I've personally talked to Jayda. She's a good friend of mine. I've had her on a couple of shows, and we went down and meeting her, and she told us the truth. And I believe her. There's no way I can't believe her. It's just that I'm not going to cause too much trouble by ranting on about it all the time. I just put the link in, and again, I've talked to Jayda, and I believe whatever she says. I believe, and I believe that media, because in it they've got other people's evidence and stuff like that. So